Hello everyone, my name is Blackwatch and I've been playing Siege since 2015. And I've taken some breaks for food and water in between that kind of time, but other than that, it's been pretty solid all the way through. And when you're playing a game for that long, you'll encounter a lot of bugs, a lot of gameplay problems with balancing and all that kind of stuff. But there's also something that you'll encounter just out of doing something for a long period of time. And that thing that we're going to talk about today is the wall. It's when you're stuck. It's when you are in ELO hell, you can't go anywhere in ranked, you try to play casual, you're just not performing well, you're losing confidence and you feel like you're not playing well, but like 2 weeks ago you were doing so well and don't understand what's gone wrong or what's changed. This is how you deal with it. Everybody's been there, guys. Everyone has been there. It's unanimous with all people that play this game. It's so easy to hit the wall because there's so many things playing against you. You've got short rounds that ultimately feel like forever if you get taken out early on. You've got teammates who you feel might be letting you down, and it's a very, very punishing game if you're not on your A game. But that doesn't mean that you can't sort that out, and that doesn't mean that you can't fix your attitude and change some of your gameplay things to try and get yourself into a better mind state to deal with those kind of situations better. You don't just have to take a break from the game. Lots of people say that if you're struggling, just take a break, just go away and then come back. The trouble with that is if you go away and come back and you've done nothing proactive to improve things and you still do badly, it's very easy to then just get completely turned off from the game and just go, nah, Siege isn't for me. It's past its best. It's not me, it's the game. I've taken a break and I'm still not better. What's going on? Well, ultimately, if you've taken a break and it's still not better, you've not done anything to improve it other than taking a break. And that deals with one aspect, which is the negative attitude part of the tilting. But the other thing is what's caused the tilting in the first place? Probably one of three things. Either a bug, a teammate problem, which a lot of the time is actually your own problem, and the last one is your own problem. Your performance has let you down, or something has gone wrong, and all these different things can contribute to it. But I have some tips that will help you try to deal with this issue and break out of it. I'm not saying that taking a break isn't a valid option, it definitely is, but I'm saying there's a lot more to it than just stopping playing the game and coming back. So the first thing is a very obvious thing, but it's something that not a lot of people do, and that's just change up your operator picks. Loads of people seem to think that if you continue to play the same operator, you'll just do better next time because now you know what to avoid. But that's not always the case, because mentally you can start to associate that operator with poor play. This is easily done, and this is something that I've done many, many times before with Thermite in particular. Now, Thermite has a very average gun at best, and thankfully for me, this average gun with an ACOG and flash hider was very accurate, and I had a lot of fun with it until they nerfed it by changing its recoil to the point where it was no longer a comfortably handled gun, and it needed attachments that were not optimal. It stuck you down to the close range optics, and even then it was still quite unstable. But the difference between persisting with an operator who is maybe just mentally associated with failure and swapping out to improve yourself in the moment is that you can always then go back once your confidence has been restored. Because you shouldn't blame the operator necessarily, but you should blame your own lack of confidence after something that's been caused by someone who maybe doesn't have the optimal weapon. Other people should be able to pick your operators for you if you can't fill that role. If you're the dedicated hard breacher but you're just really not making it work with that hard breacher today, if you're a Thermite main for example, maybe try Hibana, maybe try Maverick, but if neither of them are working either, just try and find someone else who will play that role for you and take that frustration away. And just mix it up. Give yourself an opportunity to do other things. It's the same with people who are maybe roamers all the time. If you just can't roam on that day, find someone else who can roam and let them do it for you, and then pick an operator who you can feel comfortable with and settle back in. Maybe try and anchor for a little bit. If you've not anchored in ages and you go back to it, you might find that you're actually playing a lot better as an anchor and you're contributing more than you would if you persisted as a roamer. And the same thing goes for people who are maybe playing hard breachers and you're getting stuck. Just move on, try someone else. And honestly, your team, they might be annoyed that you're not playing that role to begin with, but if you then start doing better in a different role, they'll forget that very, very quickly. The next thing is to choose a different weapon. For Lion, I think he's probably the best example of where this would apply. His two best choices are the 417 DMR and the Vector, what caliber is it? I think it's a Vector 50 cal. The two of them, 308. So the V308 and the 417 are both quite good guns, but they both have very different behaviour, and I often find myself swapping between the two of them depending on how I'm playing and also depending on the map. If you're someone who always runs ACOG on attack or on defence, maybe try using a holographic sight or one of the other close range sights. I often move between the close range sights as well. I go between reflex and holographic and sometimes even red dot. You can always switch up your options. And one of the quick fixes that I tend to recommend to people who are really stuck is pick someone with a high rate of fire weapon that's still controllable enough. Someone like Bandit or Alibi or Doc or Ash on the attacking team. There's loads of people who have high rate of fire weapons, and high rate of fire usually equates to more kills because it's more opportunities for you to score a good headshot. Even if you're not the most accurate at the moment, it's still that chance to just snag the lucky headshot and get you out of the bad situation where you're just not winning firefights, you're just not scoring kills. So just switch up that loadout and see what happens. If you feel like you can't attack, and attacking is what's letting you down, unfortunately, sometimes in rank now, you're just going to have to be the team that attacks 3 rounds in a row. If that is the case, and maybe you feel like it's the operator that's letting you down, swap off to a different operator. But if it's not that, if you feel like you're just going in and you're getting killed, use the tools that are given to you more. Use your drones more. Use your utility more. Droning is so easy, and it's difficult to be an efficient droner initially, because I think the habit for a lot of people is to drone an entire area before they go in. They want to map out the entire floor that they're going to move into before they go, and then they just jump in and find that in the time that they've managed to drive from one end of the map to the other, someone has arrived at their entry point, and that's not great. The thing to do with droning is to do it sequentially, and it's more efficient that way. Drone for the immediate area, maybe the first 3 rooms that you're going to encounter in a vicinity. Drone them out really quickly, try and do it as fast as possible, just check those corners and then get in. You don't need to sit and look in a corner for ages to find out that someone's there or someone's not there. Just a little glance will give you all the information you need without wasting the time. Same with defenders. If you're a defender who's struggling with being flanked, use your intel more. Give yourself a Valkyrie or give yourself some bulletproof cams or whatever kind of intel gathering utility you need. If you're an anchor who just constantly gets snuck up on, get that intel gadget out and give yourself that little blanket of safety surrounding you that will let you know when people are coming. If you really struggle with this and you want someone who is a good all-rounder who's going to help your team and will help you be safe from those kind of players, pick Legion. Legion's a fantastic pick for this because you can essentially selfishly use those gadgets and put down the goo mines to cover your perimeter, but you're also helping the team by doing this. It's a win-win. So try someone like Legion or someone like Valkyrie if you can get someone else to check on those cams. Loads of options for people who will give you that early warning and take away that fear of people sneaking up on you. And if you're roaming and struggling to take on people, honestly, Jaeger is one of the safest picks for roaming. He has an incredibly high win rate because his gadget's very helpful, and he has one of the strongest, if not the strongest, weapons on the defensive side. It's a very, very powerful weapon, that 416 carbine, so be sure to take that if you're struggling. The other thing is, you need to kind of basically believe in yourself. You don't overnight just get worse. If you've been performing well and you're suddenly playing badly, you need to consider that it could just be an off day. You could just be something that's not right. You've maybe not eaten enough, you're feeling tired, or even if you have been progressing, you've been going up the ranks, You have to remember that as you get better, your enemies also will get better. You'll be playing against much stiffer competition. Factor this in so that you're not just blaming yourself all the time and you're not just blaming your teammates. Everyone makes mistakes. And think, in a situation, if your teammate does screw up, how would you feel if what you say to them was being reflected right back at you when you're in the same situation, you've made the same mistake? Teammates probably know they've made a mistake when they do. If they don't, fair enough, it can happen sometimes, but usually they don't. They won't sit there and go, oh, well, I've not made a mistake. They'll acknowledge that they've made a mistake. Even if they don't want to openly acknowledge it, they will know themselves that they have done this. You can give them feedback if you know that they've done something wrong that's remedied, or that can be remedied. That's fine. Give them that feedback. Present it in a positive way. If they're a Thatcher who's pushed into a room full of goos and has been trapped up and that's led to their death, and they had EMPs left in the back pocket, just mention it to them. Hey, by the way, you had EMPs left. You could always use them next time just to take out the gadgets before you push in. Even if there's nothing there, it's something that will maybe help them. It's maybe something they didn't think about. A lot of Thatcher players are used to just throwing it down at the walls where they've got bandit charges and Kaid electro claws, and then that's their job done for the rest of the round. They just need to go and get kills. So remind them of something like that, or give them some sort of positive feedback, but don't just dump on them for performing badly, because you could be there as well. And it will tilt them and it will tilt you, and nobody's going to be improved by flaring someone just because they've made a mistake. Be ballsy, be willing to fail. If you're willing to fail, then you'll find it much easier to improve. Just keep on playing ranked, keep on grinding out. Casual's fun if you just want to chill out and you're not up for it, but if you really want to get the most out of your Siege experience, continue playing ranked. Keep on pushing through. Don't be scared to go into ranked. If you put too much stock in your rank, you're not going to enjoy the experience. Whereas if you go in there and you treat it as a learning opportunity to go and improve, to go and get better, and to go and develop yourself over time, you'll have more fun than going into ranked, being upset by it, and just not going back. That's not how you improve. You keep on persisting. Try, and try again. And every time you fail, remember why you failed and make sure it doesn't happen next time. Improve, and that's how you will get better, and that's how you will enjoy yourself more, and that's usually how you'll tilt yourself less. If you put less pressure on yourself, just go in there and do well. Pressure can bring out the best in you, but it can also bring out the worst in you, and you need to balance that. There's pressure and then there's tilting pressure. Give yourself the pressure that you get, that rush from ranked, but don't jump on yourself and start committing seppuku on the floor just because you've made a mistake. There's always an opportunity to do better next time. And if it's your playstyle that's letting you down, if you're too aggressive, maybe be less aggressive. If you're not aggressive enough and you're too passive and you're getting killed because you're not pushing, change it up. Do something different. Find those teammates that will support your playstyle and that you can trust and you can enjoy. So many different places that you can find teammates these days, guys. Honestly, there's no excuse for not playing with teammates nowadays, because I guarantee you, even if you're not the most social person, you don't like having conversations usually, you don't have to. When you're in a team and you're just playing and you've got that one common goal, it's not going to be about having conversations about what you do at school or what your job is or whatever. It's going to be about the game, and it's going to be focused, and you're going to enjoy yourself much more, because communication will make you play better, it will make them play better, and it will give you more wins, it will bring that rank up, and it will hopefully pull you out of whatever rut you've caught yourself in that's made you feel like you can't play well. No one is inherently bad at the game overnight. You'll have your problems that will be consistent, but they can always be worked on. And if you started playing badly, don't worry. It does get better. Just persist, be willing to fail, and just realise at the end of the day, it's still a game, and there's always another chance to play better next time. Hope you have a good time out there, guys. Don't get too tilted. Do svidania. Bye-bye.